This is an incredibly complicated issue, and it's something that I got involved with actually back in approximately 2005. I became a new borough attorney. I had been working in the city for years as a lawyer, had handled multi-billion-dollar transactions around the world, and had never worked on something as confusing and convoluted as attempting to get our housing plan for where I live through COA. And I had a mayor who believed it was a moral obligation to, in a town that had not been compliant, to do what we needed to do, and tasked me to go out and figure out a way to make us one of the communities that proactively provided affordable housing. I became an expert in a topic that I candidly knew nothing about at that time, and realized how, as designed, it was designed to fail. And as designed, it's something that was so unnecessarily complicated and just so difficult to comply with that it was disincentivizing people to actually do anything. And it's really surreal for me to be sitting here now saying this after, seeing firsthand how COA was so dysfunctional, and yet I'm one of the people advocating that we actually put COA back in place because that was better than what we're doing now. And as a member of the legislature, I respectfully disagree with Kevin saying that, this is something that we should have the courts continue to be doing. I'm a legislator. We are here to make the laws for the state of New Jersey. We have abdicated our responsibility and our jobs as elected officials by having this be determined through the courts. And we can agree to disagree on how we get there or what potentially the best means of getting there is, but policy that got set based upon court decisions that took place when I was 3 years of age no longer necessarily hold true for best models in New Jersey moving forward. By doing it through the courts, what we've done is, in a state that's known for corruption, in a state that's known for, not necessarily being good government, we have pushed everything into closed-door discussions where members of the public are not being shared information by municipalities. There is absolutely nothing that is voluntary about municipalities going to court for these settlements. Settlement discussions are taking place in literally the dark of night. Borough attorneys are telling their mayors and council not to share with the members of the public what is taking place. And, Kevin just said it's a 1% increase in, overall numbers. Well, nobody knows because nobody's been keeping track of what those overall numbers are. We do not know, as we sit here today, how many rental units versus how many for sale units. We don't know how many units are going into urban areas where the gentrification and the spread of people between the wealthiest and the poorest is actually becoming worse rather than better. In areas that millennials and other people would want to move into, that have vibrant, robust jobs, transportation, nightlife, they're being priced out of it because there were no affordable housing obligations whatsoever in those communities. And members of those communities are now revolting, saying, we need this, we want this. Why are you putting this stuff out in Park Ridge, New Jersey, where New Jersey Transit is so overwhelmed that the current population can't get on a bus or a train? And so these are the real-life considerations that we're trying to have, adult discussions about. And it's like touching the third rail. It's very easy to say anybody who wants to change how we've been doing this, is trying to protect a white neighborhood or something like that. I went through the towns that I represent because I was curious as to what our racial demographics are right now. Things have changed. I have a 15-year-old daughter. I have a 7-year-old son. My 7-year-old son's class is exceptionally diverse. So I started looking at data that we accumulate for our schools. There are communities that I represent that maybe 30 years ago were 99% white, that are now 50% Caucasian. And we have to have honest discussions about what we're attempting to do and why, because the current system is actually failing all of the people who need affordable housing. So thank you.